Welcome to the Lost Classics. Today I'm finally getting around to a review I've been meaning to do for a while. It's for Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6. I know most of you are probably sitting there going, he's just being dumb, obscure, or just plain stupid looking at a Friday movie, never mind the sixth one. But the truth is, that's partly the reason for looking at this film. Out of all of the boogeymen of the 1970s to 1980s, I mean, if you think about Michael Myers, Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, and Pinhead, Jason's the one with the most overlooked resume, even though there are 12 films so far. The truth is, the other 80s franchises were spearheaded by such talents as Wes Craven, Clive Barker and John Carpenter, whereas Friday the 13th was started by Sean S. Cunningham. True, he did produce Last House on the Left, Wes Craven's directorial debut, but he went on to produce other movies such as the House movies with Steve Miner, who directed Friday the 13th Parts 2 and 3, as well as making his own alien ripoff, Deep Star 6. Taking influence and inspiration from John Carpenter's Halloween and Mario Bava's Bay of Blood, Sean S. Cunningham took out a single-page ad in Variety magazine saying that the next film would be Friday the 13th. This was before the script was even wrote. Sean S. Cunningham admits that from the offset he saw the film as a way to make a quick buck with low budgets and high returns. This was set during the slasher boom that came from about 78 after Halloween until about 82, 83. That doesn't mean that the Friday the 13th movies were bad, not at all. The first and fourth films in particular showcase spectacular makeup effects by Tom Savini. Also, actors such as Corey Feldman, Crispin Glover and Kevin Bacon were helped more so than hindered by appearing in Friday the 13th films. However, it would be fair to say that not as much attention and care were paid to the quality of the Friday the 13th series, certainly when you compare it to the Freddy movies where you had such great talent as Brian Helgeland, Frank Darabont, Stephen Hopkins, Rennie Harlan and even Wes Craven working on the sequels. The Friday series was always a bit more journeyman, with Part 5 being notable for having ex-porn director Danny Steinman at the helm. Following Joseph Zito's very enjoyable Part 4, the unfortunately titled final chapter, the series seemed to centre around having Tommy Jarvis, the boy who killed Jason, become the next killer. However, momentum seemed to stop after a very sleazy and pretty nasty Part 5, and it fell to director Tom McLaughlin, with little help from Alice Cooper, to revive both the franchise and the man behind the mask, Jason himself. The movie starts with a series of homages. You've got the spooky graveyard, corpse being revived by lightning from Frankenstein, fist through guy from Terminator, oh Jesus, and my personal favourite, the James Bond title sequence. Unlike all the other Fridays which featured random series of teens being picked off one by one, the film starts with Tommy Jarvis returning to destroy Jason's body, and the whole way through he's telling everybody about Jason. Alright, the cops don't do anything about it, but at least they know. Also, the range of victims are changed, with a couple of yuppies going around paintballing as well. And it's very self-aware as well, one character even saying,
"Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly."
Hey, isn't that card from Ghost? Don't leave home without it. That's the difference as well. There's a lot more humour in this film in comparison to the rest of the series. For a slasher, it's pretty good-natured.
Dig him up. Does he think I'm a farthead?
It is also a return to the camp setting of parts 1 and 2, with the camp now being renamed Forest Green. I guess after all the murders, it did kind of need a change. It's also the first Friday the 13th film where there are actually kids in the camp. I remember watching it for the first time when I was 14 and wondering about whether Jason would kill all the kids in it, or just focus on the teenagers and cops in it. Tommy Jarvis comes back to save the day, played by none other than 80s horror mainstay Tom Matthews, or Freddy from Return of the Living Dead series. That's right, 16 years before he went machete to glove with Krueger, Jason mixed it up with the real Freddy of the 80s. It's also pretty cool because in a film series that is criticised for not having continuity, you have the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, a good little subplot that actually has closure. The only thing missing from this part is a dance scene.
Asking me to stay, don't think you got it made, no.
Another difference is Jason. Most people feel that Kane Hodder is the best Jason. And true, his stunt work and presence are undeniable. But I like CJ Graham. He's very menacing. Plus he appears in the Alice Cooper music video. Yep, that's the success of Friday the 13th. Before Prince of Darkness, before playing Freddy Krueger's dad, Alice Cooper recorded a song about Jason. Look, I'm not going to say it's up there with Dr. Zhivago, or even the original Halloween, but the Friday films of the 80s, they're fun, and they're pretty inoffensive and tame by today's standards, so casual viewers shouldn't be scared away. Jason Lives, I reckon it's the best one.